A glimmer of hope. Once upon a time, in the vibrant village of Nuru, laughter soared high above the fields, mingling with the songs of the river that wound through the land. At the heart of this joyous community lived Ao, a spirited girl of 16, known for her illuminating smile and the warm glow she brought to everyone around her. Today, the sun shone brighter than usual, reflecting the joy bubbling within her chest. A joyous flutter began in Ao's heart, for she had just returned from a visit to her grandmother, Esi. It had been a remarkable day. The village healer, once perceived to be dwindling in strength, had miraculously regained her ability to heal. Ao, who adored her grandmother and revered her wisdom, had always believed in Esi's magic, even when others doubted it. The news made her heart dance with hope. Not only was Esi back to her former self, but the entire village would benefit from her renewed powers. Ao called Keira, her best friend, as she raced toward Ao. With a braid streaming behind her, she glimmered like a flash of lightning. Ao felt the buoyant energy of Keira's presence elevate her already soaring spirits. "You'll never believe what I just heard," Ao exclaimed, her voice bubbling with excitement. "What is it?" Keira asked, her eyes widening with interest. "Grandmother Esi, she can heal again. I just came from her, and she has her strength back." Keira's face froze for a moment, and then, a smile broke through. "That's amazing. I knew she'd make it. Your grandmother is as strong as an elephant." Ao beamed. "We should gather the villagers to celebrate. It would mean so much to her." "Yes. Let's do it," Keira replied, though her enthusiasm seemed to falter slightly. Sensing the small change in energy, Ao brushed it off, eager to share the happiness flooding her heart. The sun was dipping low, casting warm hues across the village. As they went about sharing the news, more villagers gathered. The marketplace buzzed with vibrant chatter, and soon the air filled with tantalizing aromas of spices and freshly baked bread. Hearts melded together in anticipation. One by one, Ao and Keira shared the news, witnessing how anticipation transformed into joy, laughter cascading like music through Nuru. Yet, a flicker of doubt flickered in Keira's eyes with each pleased reaction, each smile only deepening an unspoken weight in her heart. After the day's excitement drew to a close, Ao found herself walking with Keira under a canopy of stars. She felt a warm flush of happiness, reveling in the beauty of the village that cradled her dreams. Still, she could sense something amiss with her friend. "Keira, are you okay?" Ao asked, her brow furrowing with concern. Keira sighed, her shoulders dropping slightly. I don't know. It's all so wonderful for you and your grandmother, but I sometimes feel like I can never measure up." Ao reached for her friend's hand. "You are more than enough, Keira. Your heart is big, and you bring everyone joy. No one can take that from you." Yet, as the words left Ao's lips, a fleeting shadow of doubt crossed Keira's face, a mixture of admiration and longing that churned silently inside her. Ao, preoccupied by her own elation, failed to see the tumult within Keira's heart. Days passed, and the village was alive with preparation for a grand celebration honoring grandmother Esi. Vibrant fabrics hung from rooftops, and the streets echoed with cheerful melodies. Yet amid this joy, Ao would occasionally catch Keira staring off into the distance as though contemplating realms unseen. On the day of the celebration, glow from lanterns that twinkled like stars beautified the night. Villagers gathered, laughter harmonized with the drumming of cheerful feet as they welcomed Esi with grace and reverence. Ao stood proudly next to her grandmother, their hands intertwined, the warmth of love radiating between them. "Together we will heal," grandmother Esi proclaimed, her voice rich like warm honey, capturing the hearts of everyone present. Ao's spirit soared. Finally, she felt every ounce of her joy wrapping around her, leaving her bursting with gleeful pride. Yet within the crowd, Keira stood slightly apart, watching the beautiful exchange between Ao and her grandmother. In that instant, the seeds of envy blossomed, whispering insecurities into her ears, growing roots in her heart. As the night wore on, the laughter continued to swell, but unbeknownst to Ao, the shared joy she so ardently celebrated began to intertwine with an unseen shadow, ready to unfurl in unexpected ways. In the midst of the jubilant cheers, a subtle spark of darkness flickered within Keira's heart, hinting at challenges yet to unfold. But for Ao, the night was one filled with a glimmer of hope, of promise, and of a newfound flutter radiating through her veins. unaware of the tremors that would soon echo through their lives. Whispers of envy. In the days following the jubilant celebration, the village of Nuru pulsed with life, a melody of laughter and song that echoed through its vibrant streets. Yet, amidst the festivities and the radiant sunlight, a shadow lingered in the heart of Keira. She watched from the sidelines, her thoughts tangled like the wild vines that climbed the village walls. Keira had always been Ao's closest companion, sharing childhood secrets and dreams beneath the laughing trees. However, ever since Ao's news about grandmother Esi, beneath her genuine smiles lay an undercurrent of resentment. The spark of joy that lit Ao's face ignited an inexplicable fire of envy within Keira, leaving her restless and uncertain about her place alongside Ao. As she roamed through the bustling market that day, Keira picked at her thoughts while selecting vegetables for her mother's stew, a task she normally found enjoyable. Despite the aromatic spices wafting through the air and the cheerful chatter surrounding her, her mind drifted to the glow of Ao's happiness. There was a pang of longing in her chest, a wish to share that exuberance, yet an overwhelming fear of never matching up surged. "Keira," called out Amari, a jovial neighbor boy, his playful laughter breaking through her swirling thoughts. "What are you daydreaming about? Join us." I'm just thinking about dinner," she replied, forcing a smile. The crowd of friends dancing near the well invited her in, their laughter wrapping around her like a warm blanket. But as she attempted to blend into their joy, Keira found herself pulling away, like a fish in a net, longing for the water but feeling trapped by her own feelings. Over the next few days, Ao beamed with the glow of promise, often returning home with tales of healing, newfound energy, and the joy the village felt thanks to her grandmother. She brought flowers to Esi, whose presence radiated peace, reminiscent of the sun melting away the morning dew. Each time Ao recounted these moments, Keira listened intently, her smile unwavering, though her heart became a battlefield of silent heart's cries. One afternoon, as Ao excitedly prepared for a visit to the healing grove, she invited Keira along, her eyes bright with anticipation. "Come with me. Grandmother Esi wants to teach me about the local herbs today." "Today?" Keira hesitated, for the thought of being surrounded by Ao and Esi's shared intimacy clawed at her insecurities. "I have other things to do." "Really? But this is important. She needs me to write her notes. Please." Ao's hope shone like the midday sun, leaving Keira feeling trapped between an obligation to her friend and the simmering tenderness in her heart. "Okay, I'll come," she reluctantly replied. The words felt heavy on her tongue, as her inner turmoil twisted like a storm brewing within her soul. As they approached the healing grove, Keira noticed the majestic trees, their leaves whispering secrets in the gentle breeze. Ao danced ahead, her spirit unbound, while Keira lagged behind, the weight of her self-doubt making every step feel labored. Esi sat beneath an old baobab tree, her silver hair glimmering warmly in the sun. "Welcome, my dears," Esi said, her voice honeyed with love. "Today, we shall learn the secrets of nature's healers." Ao stepped forward, her eyes sparkling. "I'm so excited, grandmother. What will we do first?" "Gather around," grandmother Esi instructed, threading her withered fingers through the air as if catching the sunlight. "Each herb whispers its own tale. This one," she plucked a sprig of vibrant basil, "is for courage." Keira felt a pang of jealousy, as though each herb symbolized the bond she sought but could not reach. Ao's laughter rang like music through the grove, encapsulated in a world of wonder that felt just beyond her reach. She watched Ao embrace the moment, laughing easily with Esi, their connection deepening with every secret revealed. As the sun dipped low, golden light pouring through the branches, Keira realized two things that gnawed at her. First, the love between Ao and her grandmother was a radiant light, illuminating their lives, and second, that she felt increasingly like an outsider gazing into a world sparkling with joy. The visit came to a close, yet something crucial had shifted within Keira. As Ao's laughter echoed in her ears during their walk home, shadowed clouds collected in Keira's heart. The sunlight filtered through her mind, making love and envy grapple for dominance. That night, in her own home, Keira lay on her mat, restlessness consuming her. As the stars twinkled outside her window, she wrestled with the daunting question of who she would be without Ao's brilliance. It struck her like thunder. The whispers of envy morphed into a clamor of old insecurities, teasing her heart with tainted thoughts. Would she forever be the shadow at Ao's side? Every time she witnessed Ao shine, the flickers of comparison deepened, burying her warmth under layers of self-doubt. In the silence of the night, she felt adrift without a compass, a storm brewing unseen. As she closed her eyes, the battle inside her grew louder, ready for the world to unfold and the whispers of envy to unveil the depths of her heart. If you're enjoying the story so far, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us continue bringing more content your way. Thank you so much for your support, and let's get back to the story. The Weight of Joy. The days that followed the visit to the healing grove wore a different atmosphere in Nauru, a blend of vibrant hues and deep shadows. Ao poured every ounce of love and energy into celebrating grandmother Esi's revival, a community pillar who had exhibited resilience in overcoming obstacles. However, the deeper Keira sank into her insecurities, the heavier Ao's joy felt. Ao had always been able to sense emotions, everyone's but her own. Ignoring the whispers of uncertainty that crawled beneath her skin like a restless spirit, Ao awoke each morning with dreams filled with laughter and new adventures in healing. The villagers looked to her with gratitude, exhilarated by Esi's return and eager to witness the recapture of enchantment and vitality. One sunny morning, the village had gathered in a colorful assembly to honor grandmother Esi at the sacred Well of Miracles, known within whispers to bless the spirits of all who visited. Children danced around, their laughter mingling with the melodies sung by the elders. Ao stood tall before the crowd, her spirit soaring as she spoke of Esi's strength. "Today, we honor not just a healer," she declared, her voice ringing clear, "but the heart of our village. Grandma Esi has shown us that love, courage, and hope can surmount even the greatest challenges." Amidst the applause, Keira stood slightly to the side, adorned in a simple dress, feeling invisible as Ao took center stage. She tried to smile, but her chest felt tight. Ao glimmered like sunlight, while she, Keira, felt like a dull stone navigating the sea. The cheers roared, harmonizing with Ao's effervescent spirit, and yet every cheer seemed to remind Keira of her own turmoil. As Ao recounted stories of Esi's past healing miracles, the crowd hung onto her every word, and Keira felt as though she were shrinking. Although Ao's happiness radiated like a bonfire at night, the brightness only seemed to deepen the shadows within Keira's heart. Later that evening, after the festivities wound down, Ao called on Keira to share her thoughts about the day, as she found her sitting quietly outside her home, staring into the stars. "Keira," Ao chirped, approaching with energy still buzzing in her veins. "Didn't today feel magical? The well, the songs, your performance, everything was perfect." Keira looked up, forcing a smile, though it felt brittle. "Yes, it was wonderful. You did a great job up there. Everyone loves you, Ao." The quiver in her voice didn't go unnoticed. Ao tilted her head, her brow furrowing slightly. "And you shone too. I saw those kids mesmerized by your stories of adventure. You have a gift, you know." Forcing back the tears threatening to spill, Keira shrugged. "I guess. But it feels like your light drowns out everything else sometimes." The moment hung thick between them, both unnerved by the unveiling of hidden feelings. "What do you mean?" Ao asked gently, her eyes wide with genuine concern. "It's just, I want to share your joy, but sometimes it feels like I'm left out of it," Keira whispered, the words spilling out like long-held secrets yearning for release. "I always wanted to stand beside you as a shining friend, but lately, it feels like I'm just a shadow." Ao's pulse raced, and she held Keira's hands tightly, searching for words strong enough to bridge the chasm growing between them. "You are not a shadow. You are my best friend. Without you, nothing feels complete." "Then why do I feel this way?" Keira's voice cracked, her heart unguarded. "You have so much. Your grandmother is back, everyone looks up to you, and it feels like I'm losing my way." For a moment, silence swallowed the night, the stars glimmering with stories untold. Ao took a deep breath, feeling the weight of Keira's anguish settle heavy within her. "If I could share my joy with you and ease this feeling, I would. Please know that even in your moments of doubt, you are a treasure to me, a part of my heartbeat." Keira's gaze shifted, contemplating Ao's sincere words. "You're incredible, Ao. I know that it's my struggle, not yours. It hurts to feel this way, but I don't want to ruin your happiness." Before Ao could answer, something unexpected happened. A sudden gust of wind swept through, stirring the leaves into a graceful dance, echoing the tension crackling between them. In that moment, a sense of understanding illuminated the depths of their friendship. "I can't pretend that everything is perfect for me when it isn't," Ao said gently. "And I want you to feel free to express how you truly feel. Our friendship should be a safe haven for honesty." With the flicker of intimacy between them, Keira nodded slowly, her heart unburdened by the weight of silence. "I'll try, but it may take time." And so, that night, they shared stories and hopes under a sky laced with stars. A sense of understanding began to weave through the remnants of jealousy, the air thick with vulnerability and a renewed connection. As they spoke of dreams and aspirations, laughter sprouted once more, and the weight of joy shifted like the moon drifting through clouds. Though Keira could not yet banish the shadow in her heart, she began to realize that she did not walk this path alone. Light and dark could coexist, and perhaps, there was a fleeting balance to be found amidst joy, despair, and the intricate dance of friendship. Later that evening, as Ao stepped inside her home, her heart trembled with gratitude. She had learned something vital: the burden of joy is lighter when shared, and every friendship must embrace its fragility. She hoped to stand alongside her best friend, navigating the complexities of life, seeking the beauty in shared light against the backdrop of shadows. Capítulo 4. The Healing Grove's Secrets. The sun filtered gently through the canopy of leaves as Ao made her way toward the healing grove, her heart dancing with a blend of excitement and trepidation. This sacred space had always held an air of mystery for her, intertwined with the ancestral wisdom passed down through generations. With Keira by her side, she hoped to uncover its secrets and deepen their connection not just to the grove, but to each other. As they approached, beautifully twisted trees adorned with vibrant flowers welcomed them into the grove. The air buzzed with the sounds of chirping birds and the rustling of leaves. A comforting serenity enveloped the place, a sanctuary where nature whispered tales of love, healing, and resilience. "Remember to listen closely," Ao said, her voice a hushed reverence. "The healing grove communicates in subtleties. It has much to teach us." Keira nodded, though remnants of her previous doubts still lingered in her heart, like a shadow that refused to fade. They sat in a small clearing, where the grass felt like a soft cushion beneath them. Grandmother Esi was already there, kneeling in the dirt, carefully digging her hands into the rich earth as if coaxing forgotten tales to the surface. "Ao, Keira. Come closer," she called out, her voice warm and inviting. "Today, we will discover the magic of this grove." The girls rushed to sit beside her, a flicker of anticipation igniting Keira's spirit. Esi beckoned them with a knowing glance, as if she could sense the girls' tangled feelings. Nature holds the answers to many of life's questions. Each plant has a purpose, a voice that speaks through its essence. Esi picked a cluster of golden flowers, their fragrance sweet and intoxicating. "This is ose, a rare herb that symbolizes healing and unity. It flourishes in the presence of love. When welcomed into your home, it will create a bond between everyone who enters, allowing your spirits to intertwine." Ao turned to Keira and smiled warmly, feeling a surge of hope that perhaps the grove could help ease the shadows haunting her friend. "Imagine if we brought some home to plant. It could remind us of this moment, and the strength of our friendship." As Esi continued to guide them through the grove, she wove stories about the flora that surrounded them, each tale a thread that connected the past with their present. The wisdom of her words began to seep into Keira's heart, softening the edges of her jealousy. However, Esi's keen eyes noticed Keira's silence. "Dear child," she began with gentle insistence, "what troubles your spirit? The grove can heal physical ailments, but it also loves to mend the heart." Keira hesitated, a sudden surge of vulnerability overwhelming her. The weight of her previous struggles hung heavy, but she sensed the understanding warmth of Ao beside her. I feel distant sometimes," she finally confessed, her voice barely a whisper. "Like I'm fading into the background. Ao's glow seems to overshadow everything." Esi nodded knowingly, her expression softening. It is not uncommon for those who shine brightly to cast shadows. Even the moon, surrounded by stars, can feel isolated in the night sky. But remember, the same light that shines bright can flicker and fade, bringing a completely different beauty 12 hours later. Ao reached for Keira's hand, a warm gesture of solidarity. "You will never fade to me. Your light is unique. It lights the path for others. You have stories to tell, just like these plants have stories to share. ESI smiled, the pride evident in her gaze. Exactly. Each flower, each leaf has its melody. What makes them beautiful is their coexistence in the garden. Learning to listen to one another creates harmony. The grove has its secrets, yes, but those secrets belong to all of you. The conversation brought warmth into the grove, but the air shifted as a sudden breeze arose, carrying a hushed rustle that swirled around them. It felt as if time stood still, treasuring the revelation unfolding in that small clearing. Then, ESI pointed to a magnificent tree in the distance, its branches stretched wide, its bark gnarled with ancient wisdom. Come, let us seek the heart of the grove, the great baobab. It is said to hear the whispers of the earth itself. Feeling a pulse of energy in her chest, Ao led Keira down the winding path formed by roots, each step grounding her worries. They arrived at the great baobab, its presence commanding yet comforting. Place your hands on the trunk, ESI instructed, guiding them as her voice softened to a whisper. Close your eyes and listen. Ao followed suit, feeling the rough bark beneath her palms. As she breathed in the earthy scent, the world around her faded, and she felt a resonance, a heartbeat echoing through the very roots connecting her to nature. Elation surged as she closed her eyes, drawing strength from the ancient wisdom and memories etched into the tree's fibers. Keira stood beside her, surprised by the way her heart responded. A calmness washed over her as she finally let go of her fears, the breath of the wind twining her thoughts into something finally tangible. In that moment, as they connected with the roots, Ao's whispers of friendship melded with Keira's intrinsic struggles. A tapestry of hope began to unfurl before them, the weight of their varying emotions intertwining in perfect harmony. When they opened their eyes, ESI smiled, wisdom radiating from her. The grove teaches resilience, companionship, and balance. The shadows you fear only deepen your understanding of light. Each secret learned becomes a part of you. Remember, the journey together is worth more than the weight you carry alone. As they prepared to leave the grove, Keira felt infused with new vigor. Together they had delved into the depths of their hearts, embarking on a path of growth marked by discovery and connection. The secrets of the healing grove had not only brought Ao and Keira closer to the magic of nature but also to themselves, paving the way for renewed hope and unbreakable bonds. Unraveling threads. As days turned into weeks, the village of Nuru thrummed with life. Ao and Keira found themselves visiting the healing grove more often, each time weaving deeper threads into their friendship. Ao sparkled with a newfound strength, enriching her confidence with each visit to her grandmother's sacred space, while Keira slowly emerged from the shadows haunting her heart. Yet, between the blushing petals of growth lay unseen thorns waiting to prick at their blossoming bond. The whispers of envy had been quieted but not entirely silenced. Keira desperately wanted to feel the joy Ao emanated, but the pangs of inadequacy stirred within her like an unresolved ache that clung secretly to her heart. One evening, as the sun melted into hues of lavender and gold, Ao excitedly rushed to Keira, her eyes radiant with inspiration. "You have to come see what I've been working on. Grandmother ESI challenged me to create a new herbal remedy for the villagers. I need your help." Eager to lend a hand and share in the joy, Keira shrugged off the apprehensions lurking in her thoughts and followed Ao to her home. The aromatic scent of herbs wafted in the air as they settled in Ao's kitchen. Stacks of books lay open on the table, their pages filled with illustrations of leaves and roots. "I can't believe you're diving into herbalism," Keira remarked, genuine excitement tinged with a hint of reservation. At once, Ao was soaring, eager to explore the world of plants, knowledge dancing behind her eyes like sparkling fireflies. "Yes. I want to help the village as much as grandmother ESI does. You must help me measure and combine these ingredients." Ao guided Keira through a cloudy book filled with diagrams, vibrant sketches of plants bursting with life. Through their laughter and collaboration, Keira felt exhilarated, yet threads of unease began to unravel frayed edges of her self-worth. Ao was destined to shine bright, and with every herbal concoction they prepared together, the shadow of envy loomed just beneath her joy. As they mixed flavors and aromas, their conversations flowed like the river. "Do you think I could ever reach your level of greatness?" Keira asked, running her fingers through delicate petals of lavender. Ao paused, studying her friend. "Greatness?" she echoed softly. "I don't think it's about reaching some pinnacle. It's about being true to yourself and learning to embrace both our inherited strengths and the lessons life throws our way. Their moment was interrupted by a soft knock at the door. Ao's mother entered, her face serious. Ao, there's been an incident in the village. Some crops have been spoiled overnight, creating panic among the families. A chill coursed through Ao. What happened? They believe someone is casting a curse, her mother replied gravely. Whispers of it spread, causing confusion and fear. The weight of urgency settled upon the girls. I need to go help, Ao insisted. And get grandmother Esi's guidance. Keira, will you come with me? Kira's heart raced, and this time dark thoughts surfaced against her spirit. I think I should stay behind, she said hastily, the reluctance to dive into turmoil swirling her thoughts. Ao looked concerned, her brow furrowed with disappointment. But we need to work together. We can't let fear spread. I can't help you if I'm just going to make things worse, Keira murmured, avoiding Ao's searching gaze. You're the healer in the making. You're all the village needs. The moment hung heavy, and Kira's heart sank as she avoided Ao's eyes. Behind them, a storm brewed, and Ao's spirit dimmed. Keira, you're as much a part of this as I am. We're stronger together. Despite Ao's pleas, Keira felt a sudden rush of vulnerability. The words slipped from her lips, the truth spilling forth unchecked. I'm scared, okay? What if I ruin everything? What if I can't help? Ao took a step back, surprise etching her features. Keira, you're my best friend. I would never let anyone feel that way. You have so much to offer, even if you can't see it. Panic surged within Keira. But you don't understand. You shine brighter than anyone. People look up to you. I feel like I'm just in the way. A silence enveloped the room, thick with unresolved emotions as Ao wrestled with the weight of those words. You're not in the way, she whispered, her voice trembling. There was hurt etched in each syllable, the essence of a friendship threatened to unravel. Kira's heart pounded as her eyes glistened with unshed tears, a myriad of feelings swirling inside. I just wish I could be enough, she said, voice breaking. Enough for what? You are enough, Keira. Ao's voice was earnest, filled with fierce determination. Isn't that what the Grove taught us? We all have our role to play in the tapestry of life. I can't do this without you. The village needs both of our strengths now more than ever. The air hung thick with truth as the two stood separated by unspoken fears. An emotional rift was forming, threatening the foundation they'd built together. Keira breathed deeply, fear wrestling hope for control of her heart. Finally, fragile acceptance nurtured by Ao's unwavering faith seeped into her soul. The tapestry of their friendship could weave through the turbulent waters together if only Keira could allow herself to be brave. I'll go with you, she said finally, her voice steadier now. But I don't know if I can do anything helpful. With a shared look of understanding, Ao nodded, extending her hand. We'll figure it out together. You're stronger than you think. As they stepped out of the shelter, the world unfurled before them, the village shimmering in the faint summer dusk like an ember waiting to either spark or extinguish. The threads of their friendship felt frayed, but in that unraveling, they had the chance to bind them together anew, families and hearts interwoven in the light of hope. Rebuilding joy. The air was thick with a sense of urgency as Ao and Keira made their way into the heart of Nuru, the whispers of unrest echoing through their minds. They had heard the stories circulating. Crops lying lifeless overnight, the village darkening beneath a shroud of fear that quickened with every passing hour. As they approached the marketplace, the tension hung like a heavy mist, and the villagers' anxious murmurs filled the space around them. Ao took a deep breath, adrenaline coursing through her veins. We need to find grandmother Esi. She will know what to do. Right, Keira managed, her heart pounding in her chest. The shadows of her doubts still flickered beneath her surface, but the resolve to support Ao pushed her forward. They reached Esi's home, where traditional remedies were lovingly displayed like guardian sentinels, the essence of healing pulsating within their colorful glass jars. Grandmother Esi greeted them with an earnest gaze that seemed to pierce straight into their very souls. Ao, Keira. I was just about to head to the marketplace. Come with me. Keira exchanged a glance with Ao, the silent reminder of their shared purpose igniting their spirits. They followed Esi as she moved with purpose through the bustling crowd. Villagers turned to catch sight of the healer. Her presence felt like a comforting balm against their mounting fears. "ESI," one villager called, desperation thrumming through his voice. "You must help us. The fields are cursed. We don't know what is happening." As they reached the center of the marketplace, ESI held her hands up, a gesture that commanded attention. "Fear will not heal this village," she declared, her voice steady but compassionate. "We will find answers, and together we shall restore what has been lost." Ao stepped forward, emboldened by her grandmother's conviction. "We need to treat this not as a curse but as a lesson. Nature communicates with us, and it is up to us to listen." She felt the weight of Keira's hand grip her wrist tightly, and she reflected on the strength they offered each other. An elder from the village spoke up, frustration lining his face. "But how? The crops are dying. We need assurance, not mere words." Keira shuffled closer to Ao, her anxiety flooding back. "What if we prepare a remedy?" she suggested tentatively, her voice barely above a whisper. I remember the herbs we learned about in the grove. Maybe, if we use them to create something strong, we can help restore the crops." A flicker of surprise crossed Ao's face, swelling into a glow of admiration. "That's brilliant, Keira. We can mix the herbs together as a treatment and then speak to the villagers about caring for the crops together." ESI smiled, pride radiating from her as she caught the eager spark in Ao's eyes. "Remedies are a means of unity, both natural and communal. Let us gather the necessary ingredients." Without hesitating, Ao, ESI, and Keira formed a circle and began to gather the required herbs from the marketplace, their spirits weaving knots of determination and shared purpose. Villagers began to notice their efforts and quietly voiced their support, driven closer by the flicker of hope. The trio rushed from stall to stall, collecting basil, ose, and a few potent roots known for their healing properties. Keira felt a sense of empowerment surge through her as they prepared each ingredient with care, the voices of doubt slowly fading. Their laughter filled the air, overlapping with the excited chatter of villagers beginning to engage in the rebuilding process. When they had gathered enough, Ao prepared stations at ESI's home, where villagers could come to learn how to create the remedy together. She explained each step, her words infused with excitement. As she spoke, Keira wandered through the crowd, helping others unwind their apprehensions, encouraging everyone to share their memories of growing crops over the years. "This is the way our families have thrived," Keira said as she moved through the gathering. "We can learn from one another's experiences. Let's keep the darkness at bay, as a village." Skepticism melted as faces brightened, vulnerability giving way to fortitude. Neighbors exchanged stories about the land, joining hands as they combined efforts. Slowly, the unity they revitalized began to break through the sorrow that had cast a pall over Nuru. As dusk painted the sky with splashes of gold, they began to distribute the remedies they had painstakingly prepared. The air shimmered with hope, and laughter danced through the village. Remnants of fear evaporated like mist. Each villager carried a small jar, ready to share the love that had infused their curing. That night, as the warmth of flickering lanterns illuminated the village, families came together to tend to their fields, exchanging gratitude and affirmations, rebuilding both their crops and relationships, side by side. A bond stringed among them glowed with the promise of resilience. As Ao and Keira stood together, their faces lit with pride, Ao suddenly turned to Keira, her smile wide. "You did this, Keira. You shone light on a dark place. I'm so grateful for you." Kira's heart soared, a weight lifting as she embraced the warmth of Ao's affirmation. The long shadow began to fade, replaced by a budding trust. "I couldn't have done it without you. You brought it all to life, Ao." In the coming days, the crops began to flourish again, with sunlight streaming through the leaves like gifts of hope. Each plant seemed to bloom brighter, defying fears and inviting them to dance in the wind. The village was alive with new energy, and joy took root once more, flowing through Nuru like a vibrant river. As the seasons embraced their cycle, Ao and Keira found themselves not just friends but sisters, forever intertwined in their shared journey. They had faced the storms together, discovering that true strength comes from vulnerability and acceptance. In every challenge they conquered, the threads of their spirits were vastly enriched, woven into the story of their friendship, a lasting tapestry colored in resilience, joy, and love that blossomed in the heart of Nuru. Through the laughter of children and the whispers of the winds, the lessons of the healing grove echoed softly, reminding the villagers of the beauty of togetherness, the radiant illumination that can arise in the face of darkness, and the importance of nurturing each other. Did you enjoy this video? If so, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to join us for more amazing stories every day. Here at Daily Anything History, there's always something new to discover. See you in the next video.